First item on the agenda, as always, is pay the bill.
Move to pay the bill.
I second.
A motion to pay the bills, we have a second. All in favor? Gary, they preempted you.
Yeah. I'm here.
And we have one again. All right, moving on to item number 2, consent list. Minutes of previous meetings, we all had an opportunity to read over those. Anybody have any additions or corrections to make for minutes? Tax assessor collectors monthly report. The active month over there. And we're running just shy of 98% on the collections. Now for this time of the year.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. The city's still lagging behind a little bit. All the county collections and school collections are in good shape. County district clerk report. This like about 2 or 3 months in a row now that the county court has outpaced the district court.
Judge, don't get you. It's probate's fault, nothing to do with county criminal. One of these days, maybe.
Well, we got a good docket coming up next month, so maybe we'll change it next month.
Generate money next month. Yeah.
Huh?
You gonna generate money next month?
Maybe next month. And we have treasurer's monthly report. Yeah, did you want to get a copy of that?
Judge Hathaway told me when he filled out, he was working on his travel expense, and he said, it's all Stonewall County. I said, I know, and he's coming back today. I told him, you might as well move over here. The past 6 weeks, that's all I've done is be in the field.
Any questions or discussion on anything, any item on consent list?
Motion to approve consent list.
Have a motion to approve the consent list, do we have a second? Dave, second, all in favor?
David, you second.
Item 3 is the treasurer's investment change. Did y'all get a copy of it? What it is, proposed to make the change on the 16th. And that day we'll have $1,882,898.14 in CDs to First National Bank. It's Treasurer's intention to lower that amount by $150,000 to meet next month's obligations.
That's next month?
Pardon me? Yeah, the 16th, which will be Thursday, I think, when she makes the change. That's when the CD is.
$8 months. Pretty good, ain't it?
Yeah, we're doing good. We're clicking right along for this time of the year on our budget. Revenue.
Thanks coming up.
Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have any issues on budgetary issues at this point. We're in good shape all the way around. Any discussion on the investment change? If no discussion, I'll entertain a motion on the investment change.
I move to approve Treasurer's investment change.
We have a motion to approve the investment change. Do I have a second? First, second. All in favor? Item number 4. Consider agreement with Tidelands Geophysical for the use of county road right-of-ways for seismic activity. They're going to be running seismic surveys out here in the airport area. Those we got on this. And they've got this is standard contract. This one was for Glasscock County. Y'all were looking over. It's just the standard thing.
Are they trying to just seismic the road right away and not pay the landowner? Or are they gonna seismograph the whole area and just?
No, it's the whole area here. Where's the map here? It's gonna be, I think it's two maps.
So they won't run their thumper trucks in?
Pardon me?
They'll run their thumper trucks in the county road?
They're gonna run some on the thing and set their deal, but they're gonna be out in some pastures on those, use the county road. And of course, in that agreement, standard agreement, they will be responsible for any damage.
In the past, we've never allowed them to use county road for running thumper trucks, only for crossings. And they have to pay landowners for their right-of-ways.
Okay, it's the understood degree permission hearing granted, and that's the reason I'm bringing it up here. Permission hearing granted will be out from only as far as your rights concerned. Tidelands Geophysical agrees to protect you from any and all claims and damages which might result from our operations of the joint venture. Is understood, Tidelands Geophysical Company assumes all liability for any surface and road damages resulting from our work. It is unusual for any appreciable damage to result from our operations and effort will be made to conduct the work with no inconvenience to the public and damage to property. No parking on the right of way of unattended vehicle parking, start date. Just, well, it says down here, Thailand's geophysical company will conduct the operation to try and avoid physical structures such as sewers, water mains, and drains that may be underneath the roadway, that you may be concerned with. They may be wanting to do something on the roadway, and I don't know if we want to.
There ain't no way they can pump in that ditch, is there? 'Cause that ditch is hold out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't pump
Yeah.
it.
They ain't gonna pump in that ditch. They gotta get me, they're gonna pump right in the middle of that road.
We've never allowed that before.
Yeah, they're just trying to get around paying that landowner, ain't
They
they?
don't show the county road from
Yeah,
the
that,
airport.
exactly,
Yeah.
and that A is talking about out there on the airport property, and of course, that's on the next item, on the airport, but then I guess is that Hex there, all that?
No, that's,
Whose is that?
that's gonna be, Shorty Alley and Reynolds.
Oh, that's short, okay.
They've leased Tex.
The oil company has.
Oh, well, so they were trying to. That map right there, though, they've got in hand, it doesn't show going down that county road, does it?
And what they got here is like, unless, I don't know what the range is.
No, it shows going right down the road.
Red.
Shows going right down the road.
Well,
That bottom line right there is the county road.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
from the airport, east,
You got some people out around the area that run good.
Which one is the receiver, the range is gonna be the line going across. It's gonna be
Top of the line.
top of the line. Don't you think, Kenny?
Yeah.
That's the way I do it.
You think they just want to throw a jug line in that ditch, what
I
we
think
do?
that's probably like you do.
I think the red line is the thumper line, and the green is the sensors. I understood that.
You are.
What he's saying though is he thinks we're just gonna throw a jug line here,
Yeah.
although that's a boundary.
Right.
I think we'd be really off. We'd go off.
Which if they throw a jug line in that ditch, they've already paid the riddles anyway,
Right.
right?
And I wouldn't mind using that, but like Kenny, I
I
don't think we need to do any thumping out there on the road.
Yeah, we don't get the landowners off, they got the money. I mean, they deserve the money.
Probably are.
They're gonna pump that exterior line.
I think you don't go north to south.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I think so too, but they'll pump that exterior line. If it's a 3D seismic, they'll pump that exterior.
they'll pump that out there on the road.
You sure?
Now, well, they're gonna pump going, north and south.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're gonna pump plumb up to here, and then right down here, they're gonna go that way.
You're thinking that first stump's gonna be in that county road then?
Well,
That line's gonna
it's gonna
start
be,
right
right
there.
if we make them stay inside the fences, they'll be right inside that fence.
I think, see, they're not showing any of those red circle deals on that line.
How can you see that red circle on that red square?
Well, it's square, it's the circle.
there is
See,
one
they
right here.
got that square,
Yeah.
like that same square
There's one
going
right
down
there.
the west side of the property there too.
That's the only one on this side, not one there.
Wouldn't have a problem with them running their jug lines and stuff down in that ditch, but I don't think they want to pump it out there on the road.
Yeah, they go. A lot of times we make, like down the road where you have to pick up, there was trying to turn tube on, you know, drag it around. There's your bait.
Yeah.
Pick it up.
Well, we one.
So how many vehicles is it gonna take to get down in there and do that?
I don't have any idea. How many?
10,000 trips?
Are they going from the Bay's house that direction?
I don't know, I just know Cody County, they don't decide we got that old lady that down there.
Yeah, I said
Some they
something.
got a pretty good track in there.
Bay and Jim the other day, and they were expecting to go all the way across there.
I don't know how far east they're going, did they say?
On that, I'd say I wouldn't have any problem with them using the right of ways for jug lines and that, of course, up and down the roads, getting in and out. I agree with Kenny on that thing. I don't think they need to be bumping out there on our roadway.
On that contract deal that you got there, like,
Yeah.
did it state anything like that?
Mhm.
We could ride up there on the rebate.
But it says, it is understood that Tidelands Geophysical Company assumes all liability for any surface and road damages resulting from our work. Now,
Yeah.
but we can agree to let them use the roads and the right of way for, ingress and egress purposes and laying their jug lines, but no active pumping operations on the roadway. And I don't think I think it's, all that's gonna take place out in that pasture, across the fence line. We need to have that specific, I think, if that's the way we feel about it in anything we do, decisions we make.
Did they send us two separate contracts?
Yes, yeah, that's just a sample I got here. This is the actual contract for use on the airport. And we'll talk about that in a minute, but I've already explained to them that there will be a rider on that if we agree to it. That they'll have to use the electronic sensors on that airport, will not allow cables or lines from across that taxiway and runway out there.
That could be like landing on an aircraft carrier.
Uh-huh.
The tail, that'd be like landing on an aircraft carrier with the tail doesn't.
And he said that they had electronic sensors, and I said, well, that's good, because that's the only way you're gonna get on that airport property. You're not gonna lay any cables,
I wouldn't
lines
let 'em
across there.
drill any, what do you call it, drill any shot holes, anything like that.
No, it's the thumper line is well east of the airport property. That's just one of the sensors be out there. Actually, just be a line of, actually, 3 sensors on, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines across there. 3 sensors on the airport property. But that's separate from the right of way issue. We want to allow them to use the right of ways for certain operations, but no active thumping on the right of way.
Are you gonna write a
Yeah,
contract?
we'll write that up. And, he just gave a sample, and I said, well, we'll talk about it, and then we'll decide what we want to do in here.
Yeah, we can't keep them off the road.
Uh,
We can't keep them
No.
from traveling road, we just keep them shaking them.
Yeah.
That's your road, man. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna rebuild it.
Not on letters?
Don't, Jan, don't use rock rock.
I'm gonna sell it to her. I thought you sold it to me.
I said, anybody come along first.
Okay, does anybody want to make a motion on how we want that designed? What
Oh,
we
I
want
just have one
required?
question. We're gonna go look at it first before they get started on it, so that you can say what was or wasn't before they got on it.
Any damage.
Otherwise, how are you gonna prove what was before and what was after?
Oh, when they tear it up big time.
Okay, well, that's good.
When they put their dozers on it, spin around the middle of the road, you know it.
Okay.
wow. We have to allow them to use the road, we can't prohibit their use of the road as far as their vehicle. So it's just using their equipment out there on it, jug lines and that sort of thing, you know, right away. Ooh, you guys, nobody won't jump off this here,
Well, you get to dealing with these people.
huh?
You get to dealing with these people, they give them an inch, they'll take a mile sometimes.
Oh, I wanna say that I'm gonna grant the use of right of way as far as their cables and jug lines, as long as it don't affect the use of the road by the public, but no active thumping operations on the roadbed itself. Would that be acceptable?
In the road right away,
Yeah.
that'd be fence to fence.
Fence to fence. You wanna make that motion?
Like Dan's road.
Yeah.
Dan's road?
Now, give me time to put these exactly like you want, because
Okay.
I don't know what jug lines and stuff.
Well, I don't know what they are either, but here's what, they don't need to do no exploration on county property. Right?
County right away.
County right away.
County road right.
County road right away. Needs to be done inside property owners. Fence line.
No active thumping operations.
Okay.
Thumping till that truck comes in there,
Uh-huh.
puts that stamp down.
Okay.
You know, we'll put that big foot down there and then it'll,
Just,
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what
Go to Red Road.
thumping or shaking, whatever you gonna call it.
Looks like the big ultrasound gun is going on. Yeah.
And the jug line is
That's
that,
what sensors
you
back
know,
up.
they'll plant them, used to them as lines. Anymore, they've got them where they're not tied together, a lot of them are, I don't think. Are they? Some of them are just electronic.
And that just measures the ultrasound waves
Step
coming back
them
up.
off, they've got,
I used to be a judge, officer, nothing back,
so did my dad at Fort Stockton.
down in Pecos.
Was that where all y'all got up and left here with us?
I wasn't gonna be in.
okay, what do you got, Patty, on that? Oh, you don't?
I've got no exploration on county road right of way, no active thumping operation, no use of right of way on, except vehicles, ingress and egress purposes, and I have no idea what jug line is. So, how do y'all want this?
Okay. So how do y'all want, how do you want Patty to craft that?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what the proper wording for it is.
No shaking or thumping
Yeah.
in the county road right away.
And no hula hooping.
That's it.
Yeah. Get specific.
I don't know, they shouldn't,
Really, the use of ingress, egress, and jug line.
Lay their sensor lines, yeah, just like that, and can lay their sensor lines on the right of way property outside the active roadbed. But no active thumping or shaking operations in the right of way.
In the right of way.
Does that sound right? Sound fair? You wanna make that motion, Dan?
yes.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Harris. Do we have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Will clerk second that, all in favor?
You got enough there, you ought to be able to make something.
When you get it written up, Patty, we'll read that back to you.
Yeah.
Okay, it's something about lay sensor lines, permission to lay sensor lines outside of the roadway.
Outside the roadbed.
Okay, and permission for ingress and egress purposes. Okay, do you
What?
still want no exploration on county?
No
road?
active thumping or shaking
No,
operation.
no active, okay.
I was the only white boy down there, sugar, wet, and everything else.
In the right of way.
Okay, do you still want no exploration?
Not sure if
No.
it's only thing,
Cross
which is
that
what,
out.
you
Okay.
know. And of course, I
What
don't
about,
pick them up.
no use of right of way except vehicles?
Main line, I think,
Yeah.
big line.
Well, we've allowed their
Come down.
sensors
Oh, okay, so that,
Yeah,
that
just
takes
leave
care of the
that out.
center lacing, okay, so take out no use of right of way
Right.
except vehicles, cause it says lay center,
Yeah.
permission lay center on
That's just
outside roadway.
And the thing of it is, they may have some across the road where they need to lay across the road.
Okay, then I don't understand about the jug line. Do I put anything about the jug line?
Bar ditch only,
Jug line and bar ditch only?
kinda what you thought, or do you not want it?
Like he is scared, he
I
went
think
out
it's
and walked of it, but I would.
right on the property.
Tell fire wagon, oh.
Jug line on property line?
Well, if you want it to be on the property line, then you don't want it in the right of way at all.
Yeah.
We've always let it be
Okay.
yardage.
Is your policy in the past, it didn't do that?
Okay, no jug line in the right of way. Is that what you're saying?
I don't even know what the jug line is.
I don't either.
It's gonna look like a big extension cord,
Okay,
big.
okay.
And about every 100 foot, it's gonna have a little extension cord coming off of it with a probe.
Okay. And they put that down in, under the ground?
No, there's a step on it.
Oh, there's stuff on it?
Okay, but now, does that jug line's okay in the bar ditch? Or what?
Was it gonna tear anything up? No. Okay, if it doesn't tear it up, that's all right.
Okay, jug line in bar ditch only?
They may have to cross the road with them if they're doing anything south of the road.
Okay, so what I put about the jug line?
If they ditch across that road, we're gonna charge them $250.
Allow jug
Yeah.
line
I
in the
I
right
can't
of way
imagine
or
why
bar
they need to
ditch?
ditch across the road, I mean, they don't.
Allow jug line in ditch,
They may not want
in
it.
right of way
There's a
and
good
bar
bit of oil
ditch?
field traffic right there, and they may not want that, they may not want their line exposed to that. Right.
So it's a fiber optic line?
I don't know what it is, man. It used to be just copper, but it may be fiber.
Every road would go 8/8 shots overhead, anyway. You really make one of them guys mad, you call me, it's about 11:30 at night, saying, hey, you need somebody out here to get this cable out of my head or my cotton strip.
Okay, how about allow jug line across right of way and in bar ditch? That work?
If they have to cut a ditch across that, do they have to come first
Yeah, if they're
here?
gonna cut that road, they're gonna, this is not got anything to do with cutting that road.
Used to make big road
Yeah,
across the highway or wherever.
Right side.
yeah. Well, I've never known them cutting into county road. If they do, we'll know it. Then we'll place them out. Nowhere in there have they stated anything about cutting any kind of a ditch or anything on the road. And like I say, I've never known them. I mean, I've seen those things. I was up at level in here a while back, coming back low through that back way, coming back in that. And they were running inside and right out there up there, and just every little bit, there's another cable across that highway. Boy, that thing kind of beating that cable track. That's a pretty heavily traveled road.
You know, that face back around there like that,
Huh?
white face back around there.
Yeah. Okay. I've got number 5, it's a separate issue on it, and it's a permit to conduct a survey on the airport property itself, and they've offered to pay us $10 an acre, with 80 acres out there, it'd be $800. I'll just pass it, hang on, there's a copy. And I explained to the guy when he came in talking about that, yeah, I don't think we'd have a big problem with their setting their lines on that airport property, and that's just their sensors on it. But we would not allow any cables or lines stretched across either the taxiways, ramps, or the runways. They'll have to put electronic sensors out there if they're gonna put anything in that airport.
Runway taxing ramps and what?
runways, taxiways, or runway, taxiway, or ramps. No lines of any kind on any of that. But they do have electronic sensors. They don't have to use those lines. They can put electronic sensors out there doing the same thing.
This go into that airport fund.
Huh?
This go into that airport
Yeah,
fund.
yeah. And Anya's, I don't know if she set the count up yet, but she's going to.
Because there was a building there,
In there?
tag, might be with it.
Let's give the judge authority to negotiate and see if they'll offer, that's a $10 offer, see if they'll offer 20.
I agree. They got some wiggle room in there.
Oh, yeah.
What's the going rate now?
I don't have any idea, but it's always more than they're offering.
I thought the last that they throw on us, they paid $25.
I can't remember what it was. I think it was more than 10.
Yep. Yeah, you like them guys pretty neat, you want to line up together.
Bring Jeff the truck. What he getting?
Don't break me, I'll see.
Does the county own the mineral rights for that property?
You know, I don't know. I've not checked. I doubt it.
Sort of doubt it.
I highly doubt it. But see, that property was donated to the county, and I'm sure it didn't come with that.
You know, maybe we should let them thump down they're gonna replace all damages. We just let them thump down the land strip, we can go out there, count the cracks.
Well, fuck that.
Sit on Bill, got 2.2 million.
Here goes building.
Yeah, turn it on, they let them.
You boys just have to make yourself home out there.
Yeah, no charge.
They said, well, that grass sure grew fast in them cracks.
I agree with you, Bert. Let the judge negotiate it. On behalf of the county.
Negotiate what?
Negotiate the, damage fee.
Negotiate for a higher fee of $20 would be the minimum acceptable, or we won't even
Oh,
put
let's
that
go
on.
do that, we'll let you handle it.
Yeah, we
Okay.
Negotiate.
That's 40.
What fee did you say here?
Damage fee.
Damage fee.
Negotiate for a higher fee, and it's something that I will accept and to sign, authority to sign a contract with them. But it will, and I've made it very plain to them that there would have to be an addendum on any agreement to restrict use of cables on that runway, on airport property itself.
It's like, crap.
Yeah.
Them places broke.
Okay. So, Kirk, you made the motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
Gary, you seconded it?
Yeah, that'll work.
I think I heard you say you agreed with that.
Yeah.
All right. You wanna read that back, make sure we've got that one right? Okay. Want it?
Okay, judge, of course, I reworded it, but, judge authorized to negotiate damage fee, sign contract, restricting no cable lines of any kind, across runway, taxiways, or ramps.
And that's with International Technologies Management, LLC, that's who that's with. IT.
That contract?
Yes.
Okay, international what?
International Technologies Management, LLC, and they're negotiating for JVA operating company out of Midland.
Okay, International Technology, what?
Management.
Management. LLC.
And they're representing JVA operating company.
Representing who?
JVA operating company incorporated.
JVA?
Yeah, JVA, out of Midland, Texas.
Okay.
So, what you allow the county judge to negotiate with?
Damage fee and sign contract restricting no cable lines of any kind across runway, taxiways, or ramps. Contract with International Technology Management LLC, representing JVA County company out of Midland, Texas.
Allow the county.
Just sign
Allow the county
contract on
judge.
behalf of those counties.
That sound right on your motion, Kirk?
Yes, sir.
Gary, that's your heck, all in favor? Okay. Item number 6, open floor. Gary?
Let's talk about storm sewer.
We've got the exhaust plumbing part of it, we've got all the one side plumbing put in, we're gonna get back Wednesday, and probably Wednesday, by Friday, we should have all of the plumbing completed down there. We've got all of it sealed, and hopefully by this Friday, we'll have the plumbing redone.
What about the water?
Do what?
What about the water?
City manager, my last discussion with him was that he said he thought we could, if we take about a 2-week period, we'll have to start to fill it pretty quick. On the water, normal flush water they use flushing the lines, rather than running it out on the ground, we divert it down there, put it in pool. And we thought we could, that was the last discussion. Now, that could change. If it does, then we'll have to look for alternative water supplies if at all possible. We had an individual that's offered to,
Right.
made the statement that she'd have it hauled in here if needed to.
My understanding is that there's a guy volunteered to give.
And there's a gentleman that has offered to donate the water from his well.
So I guess where we're at then, we're gonna be able.
We're gonna be ready, we're gonna have it, hopefully by Friday, we will have the pool ready to open. And then it's just a question then of water. If we get the water to fill it up and operate it, we will. If we run into snags there, then we'll have no recourse. But we're proceeding as if the pool's gonna open and we're gonna have it ready to open. Should be ready, like I say, by the end of this week, we're hoping. I picked up the last of our supplies, we're waiting on Roland. We've used up all of his schedule 42 inch. He was hoping to have more in today. I think we're still waiting to find out what on our lifeguards on their classes.
Yeah.
I don't think we've got anything
Still
done
ain't got
back on
anything.
it. But we've got all the lifeguards lined up. The 3 of the ladies here in the courthouse are gonna swap off in a week at a time. Run the pool for us. We're progressing with it. We're gonna have the pool ready to open if we can get the water.
Did he fix the gate?
Hadn't been down there yet. I talked to Casey Robertson about fixing the gate that they broke and then putting that one-arm swing gate over that entry in there that comes in around the pool house, goes in the park. About getting that fixed. He's not gotten back with me. I don't know if he's busy something else, but I'll get back with him.
Is the city gonna keep, are they gonna be able to keep trees live and stuff out there?
Ricky and I talked, but he's been, every time he's had to pump, if we've got any rainwater at all in there that he has to pump out, we're putting them on the trees. They're really shedding the leaves down there right now. So, of course, we may lose them, I don't know.
Just supposed to water your trees though, right?
Do what?
You're supposed to be able to water your trees.
If you don't go over 9,000.
You can't stand there and water, you can't throw a hose out there and walk off the lead.
See, they put that sprinkler, the city put that sprinkler, you know, they accepted responsibility on that thing. They put us a new sprinkler system in last year. I don't know if they've ever really had it cranked up since they put it in or not. Ricky's pretty aggravated because he spent a lot of time down there keeping those trees alive.
Well, everybody in town is going that way, we got a lot invested and stuff.
Yeah. Right.
You know, if it gets down, you can't get a drink on it.
Yeah.
It's gotta be there.
But anyway, we've been pumping all of the rainwater that the pool has caught. We've been putting all that out there on those trees, trying to keep them alive. Anything else?
That's it.
I got nothing to
Nothing?
No,
Nothing. Nothing.
nothing, nothing.
Kenny? Kenny? Hey? You have anything you want to discuss with the board?
Well, how do you train lifeguards if you don't have water in the pool?
Yeah.
Lots of imagination.
Lots.
Just like sand kayaking.
I'll call it.
Yeah.
You gotta be friends with Jan to catch that.
Yeah, Dan's got, she just bought a new kayak, you can hear it, it's a sand kayak, you ever hear of that?
He look good.
It did, didn't it?
You anything?
No, sir.
Well, as usual, I got 2 or 3 items just for information purposes only. Got a notice from TxDOT, and we got all of our signed contracts back for our grant program for the airport. All that's signed, sealed, good. The design part is coming up now, and our part of that, we should get the bill on that either this month or next. $4,600 for the design on it. Of course, that figures into our 10% of it. So we should be getting a bill for $4,600 for the design portion of that work that's going to be done out there. They still haven't ruled out the possibility of maybe getting it done by this fall, but I've kind of ruled it out. I don't think we'll see the work until next spring. You, David?
I don't think the committee's even met and approved it, has it? The state committee, TxDOT?
Well, yeah, the contracts have all been signed. What they've not done down there now so far is got the consultant.
Yeah, engineering.
All right, yeah, the engineering firm, consulting firm. That's the next step. And of course, you're on that committee, so I guess they'll.
I don't know when they're gonna meet, really.
Well, anyway, I got the letter from them that the design. I don't know what all takes place in the design part of it, but we pretty well know what we're going to do. But it's another way of TxDOT doing their thing. So anyway, they're going to send us a bill for $4,600 sometime this month or next. That came with when I got our copy of the contract back. You know, I signed 2 copies of it, sent it to them, they signed them, sent me a copy of it back, and took it down, Patty, she's put it on file down there at the clerk's office. And that was cover letter.
What did they call that? Samuel Torrey. He had a nickname. What did they call him that day?
Can't remember.
I don't remember.
You know, he's sitting down there reading.
Yeah. Anyway, that's, at least they're doing something. Our part of it is going to start creeping in the next few days.
Before anything's done,
Yeah. And we got the money budgeted and set aside for it on our part. I had to text Doc, we've got a new regional engineer for TxDOT for this area now, they're here, and he and Mogul from over here at Snyder, the engineer, and their PR person out of Childress and Glover were all in the office, and kind of a meet and greet with us on that thing. We talked about several things, and I told them that our primary function right now, as far as trying to work with TxDOT, is hoping to come up with some wrap material. We've got about 3 miles of county road we might cover. We're talking about the airport road. This county road 100 out here, and then the one going out to the Doe Mountain Cemetery. They'll keep it in mind, they'll make notes of it, but it was one of those things like, good luck with that, you know, one of those kind of things.
Went to that meeting, didn't we?
Yeah, we've been to that one, and I told them, I said, well, I know y'all got quite a bit down in Howard County, but the Howard County judge told me the other while back that they had armed guards on that round the clock. I don't think there's any possibility we're gonna get into that rap material out of Howard County.
Did you
But
hear
anyway,
back on that?
we discussed that with them, and at least it's, you know, it's on the agenda for them now.
Did you hear back about that water crossing
Okay.
up there?
No, haven't heard any more back, and I discussed the box culvert out there on Kroger, on County Road 325. They were not aware of that, and they're gonna check it out, so we might get some help from TxDOT out of that. I discussed that with them, showed them where it was at, and, this new regional man, he talked to district engineer, is it Moulder or Mulder, I think, something. Anyway. Huh? T-O-R, yeah, Mulder. Yeah. Anyway, told him to check into it, and, said that it hadn't even showed up on their radar. I said, well, it's in bad shape. If they get an opportunity, I'd like them to look at it. We've been trying to work with Kinder Morgan on that thing for over a year now, and have not been too successful getting Kinder Morgan to do anything, even though we thought they had agreed that they wanted to fix it with the county's permission. So they're gonna check on it, and they're supposed to get back with me on it as soon as they make some decision, but as you all well know, the wheels of TxDOT move slowly. Next issue we just to inform you about is the sheriff called me late Friday afternoon. Of course, it was too late to get it on the agenda if we need it on the agenda, but the radar unit in his vehicle has gone out again. We've already had it rebuilt once or twice. They've looked at it. It's gonna cost about $500 to repair that, and that's one of the old style units. They told him they had a completely rebuilt new style unit for $1,000 to take it installed.
What's it gonna cost to repair that?
500. They've got that. It's a completely rebuilt. It's the new style radar unit, and they let us have that one for $1,000. I told Sheriff that I would discuss it, y'all. I couldn't make any decision about it, but I kind of was leaning toward the new style for an extra $500 beyond, because this old one's already been rebuilt time ago. I think we're in solid state.
You ever say anything about the camera not working?
Huh?
You ever say anything about the camera not working?
He didn't say anything about it.
No. No.
Said on the stand that it's not working.
He hasn't said anything about replacing it or even working. He just talked to me about that radar again.
So it's fast getting to the point where that it's obsolete.
Yeah, we're getting there on this thing. And I think I would rather go ahead and upgrade it for an extra, $1,000. I think I'd rather go with it.
That's in his vehicle.
Huh?
That's in his vehicle.
We've already covered the pool. couple little updates on some of the action down in Austin with the legislative session. This House Bill 14, it's a companion bill, House Bill and Senate Bill 14. I've talked to you about it. It looked like if that thing passed, we'd have to be putting in a county web site on this thing, but they've already got the 2,000 population exception on that, and Drew Springer, our new rep down there, he's added an amendment to it to bring that up to 10,200 population restriction on that, and that, what that is, that 10,200 is the restriction on county auditors. If you're above that, you're required to have a county auditor, and that's the reason for that number. The way the bill stands now, even with that amendment on there, we wouldn't have to design a county website, but we wouldn't be exempt from the reporting end of the thing. We'd still have to send all these extra reports in the comptroller. And it's what this is, it's a transparency bill, as if we don't have enough transparency now. You know, we've got truth in taxation laws that was passed several years ago, and every year we get an update on that thing. And it has to do with the budgetary, and we've got a group that's complained that, well, the citizens don't know what their local governments are doing. Don't know what money they're spending, and don't know where it's going on. Which is totally false. I mean, we sit right here every time. You guys sign off on every bill. Anybody from this public that wants to see one of those bills, wants to see an invoice, wants to know exactly where their dimes are going, come walking in here, they can walk into Anya's office at any time and she'll show up. So that whole transparency argument is bogus. It really is. Plus, in budget year, we have workshops that the public is invited to come to. These are open meetings. We also hold public hearings multiple times for the public to come. And as we all know, the three that I've sat in on in here, there has not been one person show up from the public at one of our public hearings. So it's just another layer of meaningless, I won't say meaningless reports, but unnecessary reports. And of course, none of that comes with any funding, no unfunded mandate for the county. And there is a very high likelihood that this thing's going to pass. But I've talked to Senator Duncan's office, and talked to Drew Springer's office, and voiced my opposition to this thing as strongly as I know how. And Texas Association of Counties are in opposition to this thing. So right now it's kind of iffy. We don't know whether it pass or not. That's on that. That's the House Bill 14. Also talked to Senator Duncan and Representative Springer's office about House Bill 2748, and that's an eminent domain bill. And what it does, it gives the oil and gas pipeline companies more leeway in claiming eminent domain to lay oil and gas pipelines. I explained to Senator Duncan's office and to Representative Springer's office that my personal feeling is I have a real problem with eminent domain statutes to begin with. When it's a governmental entity, that they should only be able to exercise that under, very tight strictures, and for the good of the public. I have a real problem with private entities being able to exercise eminent domain, and these pipeline companies are private for-profit corporations. I have a real problem with them even having eminent domain authority, much less more lax rules. So I'm expressed opposition to that. And the one y'all are going to really appreciate, I talked to Kenny about this from earlier, and that's House Bill 2900. And you know, our county maintenance departments have a 24-inch depth exception when we're doing work on our county roads, where they don't have to call the no-dig hotline. Well, there is a bill, this House Bill 2900, that will do away with that exception and make it mandatory for any work that's to be done on county road beds or right-of-ways, has to have a 48-hour notice to the no-dig, and we have to wait that length of time to see if they register any kind of complaint or let us know that there's anything that they are concerned about.
That's just like we wanna go out there and clean the ditch.
Exactly. Clean the ditch or blade the road.
Yeah.
You know, and I explained, and again, I've talked to Senator Duncan's office and to the Representative Springer's office about this thing, told them, look, you know, most of our road blading comes after we get our occasional shower. And most of the time, as soon as the cloud moves off, the road crews are out there blading roads. And if we have to put in a call and wait 48 hours, kind of defeats the purpose. And so I've registered my strong opposition to that one.
That's the only deal, you just show up every morning, just call them, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So we're gonna blade all the roads in Stonewall County today.
Today.
And tomorrow, get up and call them again.
Well, we're gonna start 48 hours from now. So that's what the requirement
Yeah.
is, okay?
And once you got that 48 hours, man, you get to call every day, tell them we will.
Yeah.
Because like I say.
2 days from now, we're gonna start. And do that every day. But anyway, it's you know, we've always had some bills that's been presented down there that didn't make a whole lot of sense. Seems to me like this year is more than normal. But I'm trying my best to stay on top of those that will affect our county, and those that I think can help us, let them know I like them, and those that I think is gonna hurt us, I'll try the best to complain on them. So, I'll try to stay in contact with Senator Duncan's office and Representative Springer's office. So, anyway, that's kind of a legislative update on what's going on. We got our sea container in this week. Kenny's guys went over and cleared us off a nice pad for it. They were late getting in here, supposed to be in one afternoon. They had some truck problems, I guess, on the Ranger Hill. They didn't get into Asperm till that night. Spent the night in the motel, and I saw the thing, sat down in the motel early the following morning, and didn't really like the looks of it. And I went over and drove around it, and I liked the looks of it even less. So I called David to see if he was out and about. Asked him if he'd go by and look at it. And his opinion was the same as mine. We're going to send that booger back. But we got together and went down there and met the truck driver and really looked the thing over. And David wore out the blade on his pocket knife, pecking around with it. So we finally decided that it was solid enough, and so we accepted it. And it's sitting down here, and I've got to get a hold of Casey Robertson or somebody, Dwayne Wilson or somebody. See about putting a pipe rack out there to set it. And Kenny said that he thought his guys with their equipment could, when we get the stand for it, they could set it up on it. And actually, it's a pretty good container.
Yeah, it is.
We gave it a good looking over. It just had lots of what looked like rusted out spots, but as it turned out, it was just the paint had bubbled up on it. We scraped and beat and packed. I mean, when I looked at it, I thought, I'll go down there with a screwdriver and punch a screwdriver through that thing in 20 places. But it turned out it was just surface.
I took a body there and got on top of it, just a good top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a good floor, the doors sealed good. It's in pretty good shape. But anyhow, it's sitting down here on the location, and Kenny's board did a good job of cleaning that thing off. One of the deals when the appraisal district agreed to let us set it down there, they asked, could we keep that lot cleaned up, mowed? I said, I guess we probably could. I'd talk to you about it. And right now the doggone mosquitoes are trying to, just like everything else around
We're
here.
into it, I need to get it done now.
Huh?
I gotta get it done now, or we're gonna.
Okay. So I don't mind to talk to y'all about it, but that's one of their requests. To, you know, they let us set it down there if we could the county could keep it mowed, kinda cleaned up for the lot.
It's awful big of them.
Huh? Yeah.
That's awful big of them.
So, I
Who
told
owns
him,
that lot?
huh?
Who owns that lot?
Appraisal
They
district.
They did that?
They got that whole
Yeah.
deal in.
We probably don't need to mow those trees, do we?
I don't know, there's one or two that's getting to be pretty good size down there. I think it'd have a little problem just mowing them right now.
The big ones will rub them up or something.
Yeah. There's a couple of them down there that's getting pretty good size. So. Anyway, so we could probably work out that arrangement to keep it clean. The only other thing I've got this morning is our next regularly scheduled meeting. It normally would be on May the 27th, Monday, but that is Memorial Day, so I'll be posting it for May the 28th, which will be on Tuesday. Anyone have anything else? Anybody?
Thank
Got a motion for Glenn and a second, all in favor?
Chris, it's nice having you here.
Thank you.